morning. I want to welcome everyone to the December 10th meeting of the Mason County Fiscal Court. I'll call this meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Madam Clerk, could you start us off with roll call?
Yes, sir. Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. I want to kick this morning off introducing some of our guests, and then we're going to go out of order a little bit and have our road department report. But joining us today, we've got Trevor Cole, our new Agricultural and Natural Resource Extension Agent, Aubrey Wright, and of course, Extension Board Chair Steve Clary. You guys want to come forward? Tell us all the news that's in Extension today.
Well, with Extension, I'll start reading our mission statement. As part of the University of Kentucky and Kentucky State's off-campus network, we deliver information, education, and solutions, and grow ideas into a better community, stronger local economies, and healthier lives. So we do this by offering educational programs to the community. Some of our statistical contacts for the past year for our fiscal year 2024 were in family consumer science. We reached 8,397 people. Ag and Natural Resource reached 11,208 people. Horticulture reached 6,944. 4-H had 7,710 statistical contacts, and our SNAP-Ed and FNEP assistant reached 2,865 statistical contacts. Some of our upcoming programs and past programs that we've had is, of course, we have our Candy Lane program this week that aims to provide a fun time for the family and holiday season. And then with Ag and Natural Resources and Horticulture, they have the homesteading series coming up in January. And our horticulture program has had a successful program at the detention center with master gardeners certifying them in that program area. And then with 4-H, we've had successful camp numbers, setting a record for Mason County's attendance at North Central 4-H camp a third year in a row, as well as successful school programs. And Family Consumer Sciences has implemented a WITS workout focused on memory health, as well as cooking through the calendar and fuss-free holiday, focusing on healthy recipes, as well as budgeting for the holidays.
Well done, Trevor. You guys are doing a good job for him. Thank you. Aubrey?
I'm Audrey Wright. I'm the new Agriculture and Natural Resources Agent here in Mason County. I started last Monday, so we're on week 2.
Still brand new.
Yep. I graduated from UK back in May, so I'm young, but I'm very excited to take on this role and get to know the people of Mason County. I grew up in Bragdon County, so I'm familiar with Mason County. But super excited if I can be of any assistance to any of you all, or you all know people who need something, send them my way. I want to meet as many people as I can and get my face out in the community and get something good started.
Don't let Audrey sell herself short. She completed, I think, 2 internships there at Bratton County, and so comes to us with pretty extensive experience. Glad to have you, my friend. Mr. Clary, good morning.
Good morning.
Everything good in your world?
Pretty decent, I guess, can't complain. The board appreciates Audrey accepting the position for the ag agent. It's a relatively quick turnaround since Tad left about early summer. We didn't hardly expect to get another position filled as quickly as we did, although we were pushing hard to get it filled. We'd also like to talk about Trevor. Trevor done an outstanding job as far as the 4-H program is concerned. Since he's been a 4-H agent, the attendance at camp is what, triple, maybe quadruple. And the board has made a commitment to help fund, we will provide additional funding for him to allow more people or more kids to attend 4-H camp. He's done an exceptional job. The board is extremely proud of Trevor and his efforts that he's done with the 4-H program. And we're 100% committed to getting Audrey here off to a good start, because we need to get her up and going as fast as possible. She's got a lot of things looking at her ahead of her.
Big things are happening, my friend. Yes, sir.
The board has also been working on updating their 10-year plan for the resources. So we have another meeting coming up next month. I think we're going to be able to take a vote on it and get that implemented. And I think that there will be some good things that comes out of the commitment that the board has on providing, on using the resources that Extension currently has at the district. So,
I would agree.
and we look forward to working with the county on a couple of projects, but I think that will be beneficial to the taxpayers of Mason County.
I agree with that, my friend. Guys, we want to thank you all. Mason County Fiscal Court greatly appreciates our relationship with University of Kentucky and Mason County Extension Board. Robert, we're tickled to death to have you. And Trevor, you do a great job, my friend. Thank you guys for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Looks like we've had another guest join us, County Executive James Buddy L. Gonstein. Good morning. Commissioners, if you'll bear with me, we're going to pull forward the road department report, and we'll have Joe Brown come forward. Joe's on a bit of a tight schedule, so good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Joe.
Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, for our report, the plows and salters installed on the dump trucks. I got everyone going over the snow routes and trained new personnel on their routes. Dressed several bus turnarounds for the school district. All the gravel roads have been dressed for the winter. We cut and cleared limbs off of Heber Lane. We restocked the rock pile. We helped Grant at the Cummins Wildlife to unload a load of trees. We helped with shade on a dump site on Mason Lewis Road. Replaced new delineators and signs where they was needed. And on our livestock, we had 9 customers for that.
Well done, my friend. I'll also highlight, Joe mentioned it, the 1091 Mason Lewis Road cleanup, property, greatly assisted Solid Waste Director Shane Taylor. All the Cliff Pike Bridge replacement is underway, and Phase 2 bridge funding is headed up. And then our maintenance team replaced the furnace there at the maintenance garage up at the road department. At least getting those guys out of 40-degree temperatures.
Make a motion to approve the road department report as presented.
I'll second.
Motion, and we have a second. Is there any additions, deletions, or discussion? Hear none. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Safe
Joe.
travels, ma'am.
Thanks, Joe.
Safe travels.
Commissioners, we will go back up in your packets. You will see the minutes for the November 12th regularly scheduled meeting of Mason County Fiscal Court. So I will entertain a motion to approve or any edits to those.
So moved.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Which gets us up to Mason County Clerk Stephanie Schumacher.
Good morning.
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 I presented to you all, well, first we'll do the annual order setting maximum amount for deputies and assistants. This amount is $305,000 for 2025 for deputies, and that includes full-time salaries and wages, overtime wages, and vacation and sick leave. And I ask that you approve that maximum amount.
So moved.
So we have a motion and we have a second. Is there any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
And next, I have the budget for next year for 2025, showing estimated receipts at $6,067,850. Disbursements estimated at $5,958,940, with excess fees showing $108,910. And I would ask that you approve this budget as a whole.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Bill Dunbar.
Oh, I had one other thing, Judge McNeil.
Sure, by all means.
I wanted to ask the court if you would again loan me $25,000 for the loan for the beginning of the year, just so I can meet payroll until I can acquire fees. And then I typically pay that back by the end of February. We did this last year.
Second.
Thank you.
Got a motion, we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Clerk. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, Commissioner, that brings us up to our animal shelter report, and we have Director Brandy Thomas joining us today. Good morning, Brandy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For the month of November 1st through the 30th, we had 17 dogs out. We had 7 adopted, 3 were reclaimed, 6 were rescued, and we had 1 euthanasia. Dogs that were in the shelter, we had 10 strays come in, 4 owner surrenders. Animal control calls, there were 104 calls for dogs, 4 cat calls, 11 field responses, and 1 dog brought into the shelter. From 11/1/24, we had a total of 17 dogs on site. There were 7 in foster, which brought a total of 24. By 11/30/24, we had 15 dogs on site, 5 were in foster, which brought us to a total of 20. Donation-wise to the fiscal court, we were at $14,656.07. Walmart items donated were $420.45. Other items were $101.23, which brought us to a total of $15,477.75. Volunteer hours were 44 hours and 45 minutes. We had 5 surgeries, spay neuter completed in the month of November, and 7 microchipping completed.
Well done, my friend, well done. Also, I'll highlight Friday, we kicked off the shelter kennel expansion with the Gold Rule construction guys. From the 13.5 from Jordan's Way, we'll put 10 towards that kennel expansion, and 35.3 to 3,500 for lean-tos over those back kennels. Had some fantastic floats in the Christmas parade. The shelter dog Angel Tree is still up. And they got the Jingle Jog and the meet and greet with Hemingway's Bourbon and Coffee on December 14th. So I'm looking for a motion to.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and we have a second. Any additional comments, questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, that brings us up to our Sheriff's Office report, and we have Sheriff Ryan Wolski joining us.
Good morning, Judge.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Commissioners.
Morning.
Shelley Ford.
Morning.
So I'll start with our disbursements for November 2024. To the Kentucky State Treasurer, $1,074,459.62. To the Mason County General Fund, $1,648,446.11. To the Mason County School District, $4,215,079.63. To the Mason County Public Library, $536,462.58. To the Mason County Health Department, $530,141.33. Mason County Extension Service, $269,502.29. To the City of Maysville, $695,551.10. To the City of Dover, $4,744.19. To the City of Germantown, $6,999.04. That brings the total disbursements for November of 2024 to $9,008,378.89.
Motion to approve that?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Next up, I have our November report. It was a pretty busy month for us. We responded to about 500 incidents in the county. And I've got some things notated on our report there. We're still raising money for our K-9 program. We've received several donations from the community just this last week. So we'd like to implement that hopefully sometime next year. And of course, we're still active in the schools. So we'll move on to the vehicle report. We received the 2 new Chargers this past Friday. So thank you all for that. They look really good, and those are on the road right now. Otherwise, our fleet looks really good. Did I say Chargers?
Yeah.
I meant
Yes.
Dragos.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's-
Dragos.
Dragos is good.
It's
Yes,
Dragos.
So they're already out there.
Yes, they came ready to go, fully outfitted. So really nice. They're on the road now.
Awesome.
Total on K-9 that you're shooting for 15?
Shooting for 15.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, any additional?
Need a motion
Look for a motion to approve, yes, sir.
to, so moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, that brings us up to our emergency management report, and we have Director Tony Lees joining us today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning,
Good
Tony.
to see everyone this morning. Good to be back. I apologize for being out for a couple of our meetings, scheduling conflicts, but good to be here. Just looking over the report, several training items this November. Winter weather awareness hazards, some data-driven decisions. You'll see that on there twice. Those were different agencies that presented those trainings, so it's not a duplicate. There were 2 different trainings for that. Effective flood communications, which helps us to get out the proper information in the event of a flood, how to reach different people groups and the proper wording. Historical structures, and the NFIP, that's with the floodplain, just some different things on how to address historical buildings and structures if we need to do some work in that area. And then the final thing there is CGIS. It's a security training for just sensitive documents through dispatch. Exercises, we've been preparing and planning for a tabletop with the Army Corps of Engineers for the last several months. That will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock at the EOC. Can't go into much information on what it involves, but you can imagine with the Army Corps, it's going to involve water. So that will be tomorrow at 1 there at the EOC, and looking forward to that. Incidents, we assisted with a house fire there on Kentucky 596, also assisted with a double fatal there on the AA, and then also a 1046 there at Walmart Way and the AA. Other items that we addressed through the month of November, it's a busy month for the LEPC, which is our Emergency Planning Committee. We had to submit our bylaws. I had to put our notice in the paper, public notice, also update our membership list and the plans that we have for our facilities. Also spent quite a bit of time the month of November working on the equipment for Buffalo Trace Search and Rescue, getting all the titles and registrations in order and tracking all that down. I was also able to attend the Buffalo Trace Firefighter Association meeting just to sit in with them. Also was able to follow up on a project with the floodplain out in Helena. I actually submitted the final report for that last week, so that should be complete as long as the state approves that final report there for the Grader project. That is all that's on my report. There's a few other things I might address later or after the report on a grant that we received, and so I don't know if the judge would like for me to.
No, go ahead, my friend, I like it.
Oh,
I like grants.
So yesterday afternoon, we received informal notification that the search and rescue team was awarded a grant for the purchase of a drone. Drones have been able to assist in just a lot of where we're not able to safely go. The drone's able to go, and with the equipment, it's going to have thermal, it's going to have a light, microphones, and be able to communicate with the individual. So we received the amount of $11,922.10 with a 15% match from Buffalo Trace Search and Rescue. So they're really excited about that grant being awarded there, and looking forward to being able to utilize that in the future.
And that will go through us.
Yes.
And don't let Director Lee sell himself short. He was very instrumental in getting all the information together for that grant. Well done.
You're not as regulated as commercial drone operations, but there are regulations that apply.
Yes.
South also.
Yes, we do have 3 licensed operators, and we've already discussed with Sherry Caicos with the insurance and all that stuff, so.
Thank you.
Should be good. Thank you, sir.
Tony, I'll say you did a great job helping with communications as well, and commissioners, as you guys heard. Tony serves as our floodplain mitigation director for Mason County, and does a fantastic job in that arena as well. So, any questions, comments? Look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion. We have a second.
Good
Any
job,
additional
Tony.
discussion?
Good job, Tony.
Thank you.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Tony. So that brings us to our Detention Center report, and we have Taylor Security joining us today. Good morning.
Good morning.
For the month of November, our highest daily count at Mason County Detention Center was 158. Our lowest was 145 with a monthly average of 152. Of that amount, 123 were males and 29 females. Mason County had 101, Bratton County 18, Fleming County 38, Lewis County 16, all other counties 7. The Class D inmates, we had 65, controlled intake 28, and our SAP program, we had 21. The total admitted and released into the Mason County Detention Center was 205, and of that number, 148 were males and 457 were females. Money collected and community service hours worked. We had a total of 6,720 community service hours, and if you multiply that by 10, which is a very low number for our wage, but it comes out to $67,200. It's free labor to the county. Jail reimbursements collected was $1,901.62. Bond fees was $83.12. Release fees was $196.16. Booking fees was $817.79. Pay my jailers, we collected $1,508.96. The House Bill 556, we were given $19,692. And with the SAP certificates. There we go. That was earned, it was $3,000 that we got with that. The community service provided for the month of November, the Class Ds, they regularly assist the garbage pickup, recycle center, and the county road department. Other agencies helped was the food bank, the Licking Valley Commodities, Germantown Ballpark, and the Lewisburg Lions Club. Training for the month, during the month, new hires, of course, participated in the new hire deputy training. We currently have the CAECO VR training system for correctional and law enforcement until December the 15th. This is our second time that we've had it this year. It is a simulator that provides valuable training with real-life scenarios that correctional and law enforcement officers deal with on a daily basis. If anyone's interested in going through that training on the simulator, they can contact Chief Deputy Limble at the Mason County Detention Center. For the month of November, we recorded 67 hours of training. 2 inmates tested for the GED during the month. As far as the high tunnel, we have fall crops of lettuce, carrots, and spinach. They're still continuing to grow, but we did not harvest anything during the month of November. The ankle monitoring program, we had a total of 6 participants, and we collected $877.50. And on the back page is just our continued projects that we're working on out of the detention center. Right now, the HVA system was approved at the last meeting, and the Dubens is currently installing right as we speak.
Who's doing that work?
Please?
Who's doing that work?
Dubens.
Dubens, okay. And also, grand champion float of the Twilight Christmas Parade.
Yeah, we got runner-up. It's supposed to be fair.
Some angels. That's all champion.
Yes, the inmates did do a good job. This year, we allowed them to, we had a little contest and allowed them to submit ideas, and then the administration voted. And it was Santa's Workshop was the idea, and the inmates, other inmates then participated in building the float, and I thought they did a really good job, very good job.
At least I'll say this, the work you guys do bringing in and saving the county funding does not go unappreciated. You know, the high tunnel and other programming is appreciated and saves this county dollar for dollar the amount you guys take in. So well done. Commissioners, any questions? Look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Then I think you have a surplus item.
I do, just for the approval of the court, we would like to surplus portable radios. We have 20 of them. They are the P25s, and we would like to surplus them to the volunteer fire department in Dover.
Those are paid for out of commissary funding, and so that will go back into commissary and also help out a partner here in Mason County too, so. Look for a motion to approve. So
Second.
You've got a motion, we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Harder?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good job,
Thank you.
Lisa.
Commissioners, that brings us up to our Mason County landfill report, and we've got Director Cooley joining us today. Morning, Madison.
Morning.
During the month of November, the landfill received a total of 7,040 tons of waste, valued at $199,017. Curb fees were $89.56. Roll-off business at $28,266 in billable accounts. We pumped 816,902 gallons of leachate to the city treatment plant. Normal day-to-day activities on the contained landfill. Phase 6, it's coming to a close. The only thing we're doing now is waiting. Pumps are in, wired. We're waiting on RECC to come set 2 poles. We'll be firing it up for a final inspection. And then it'll be good to go for the next 38 years.
Travis, who does the final inspection?
State.
Okay.
Residual, they're taking gypsum out of there every day to certain gets to it. I was talking with the judge about the recycle program and the expiration of, I guess, the Swiffer grant.
State, Kentucky Energy Environment Cabinet has a state Swiffer grant, solid waste. I think I'm not sure this. But to explore, we had discussions with the Area Development District. And so we need a motion from court to explore going after the state Swiffer grant for a tire shredding machine. Now we've got to kind of walk a tightrope on this grant because the tire shredder has to be for a recyclable outcome. In other words, we can't just say, hey, we want to get a grant to get a tire shredder to save room within the landfill cell. It has to be something along the lines of maybe create a recycled tire depot for municipal and government landscaping projects, things like that. And so in discussions with Travis and I, they've asked Travis and I to get approval from the court to at least apply for the grant.
Does it deal with the steel on them, the separate steel, because that's always.
The machine's designed to, it's got a magnet that'll pull the steel out of them and shred everything else.
Judge Goldenstein could give you a 35-minute dissertation on shredding tires. At one time, we were working on a project in East Kentucky to use them as fuel, but we've looked at everything imaginable over the years. So I can't imagine that it's something we want to do with the grant, we can do it.
But it's a quick turnaround, grants due by January, by the 1st. And so, well, what's the pleasure of the court?
I think we should pursue it. See
Okay.
if it's.
I'll second the motion to pursue that.
We have a motion and a second. Ballpark price, the recyclable, the tire shredder.
Yeah, around 850,000.
grant.
So this grant,
What's the grant?
no, this grant would be 75 to 25.
Yeah, 75%.
The one thing I'd say, just to clarify to the commissioners, you're talking about exploring it, you're not talking about
Correct.
signing a grant.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Not committing money.
Exploring, right.
Yeah.
Just exploring.
We hope that's a problem to have.
Right.
Figure it out.
Francis Swiffer, SWIFFER.
IFER.
IFER.
Go ahead and tell her where that stands.
I have no idea.
Solid waste infrastructure.
Solid waste first.
So we have a motion, we have a second. Any additional questions, discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Also, as Travis mentioned, we're tracking the Phase 6 expansion. Travis done a fantastic job, along with Tetra Tech and Les, our partners at Ampico. I don't want to jinx ourselves, so I probably shouldn't say it, but Travis and the landfill staff have done such a fantastic job that we are tracking significantly under what we originally budgeted for. And so fingers crossed, that goes a long way in helping allay the costs for the office there at the landfill. Good job. Good job. And also I'll highlight Travis for doing a good job on, diligent on dust mitigation there at the landfill and on those tests, man. Well done. Thank you. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the landfill report.
So, second.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion, additions or deletions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. We're done. Oh, yes.
Garbage collection, the month of November, they took in 368.41 tons of waste. Active waste wheelers was 406. Active dumpsters was 107. And they're going to continue to work on active waste wheelers with serial numbers, active and inactive customers.
Commissioners, any questions on the solid waste, the garbage report? Entertain a motion to approve that. Got a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Commissioners, in your package, you'll see this recycling center report from Mr. Randy Ham. Picked up 70,085 pounds of recyclable material. We have one load of cardboard go to International Paper last month in the amount of 44,280 pounds, which also equals the total amount shipped for November, 44,280 pounds. And then total customers in our recycling center is about par at 82. I'll entertain a motion to approve the recycling center.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
We have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, it brings us to our property abatement and legal dumping reports from Director Taylor. You will find in your packet. I will highlight 9109 Mason Lewis Road, which is the fight site cleanup. County is expending funds to clean or remediate that. The road department and several others have greatly assisted with that, as well as the city of Maysville, helped with a backhoe, little backhoe thing. We're seeing positive movement in the site out on Key Pike with some derby cars, things like that. And then lastly, we have a small site there on Lone Tree Way that we got taken care of with some mattresses. We got cleaned up. So unless you have any questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the property abatement and legal dumping.
So moved.
We have a motion? Second. Okay, second. Any additional questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, in your packet, you will see the garbage and litter abatement update. Transactions this month, we had 2,860. Amount payable of $43,620.64. Took in 1,300 payments for total receipts of $36,552.36 for the month of November. For the roads, we expended in November $1,300 for the roadside litter cleanup grant, with approximately $4,600 remaining. However, I believe Director Taylor did a materials order, pickers and vests, stuff like that. So I think we'll be wrapped up. So I'll entertain a motion for the litter abatement report. So moved. We have a motion.
Second.
And the second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, in your packet, you will see our tourism report submitted by Tourism Director Caitlin Bailey, talking about past events and upcoming events, as well as trainings and conferences. That is for your information. Also, you will see our EMS report submitted by Chief Kyle Carpenter for the month of November. We had 320 total EMS runs. Of those, 76 were out in the county. And then our permit report submitted by Mr. Jim Fawcett, all residential. So that brings us to new business, and we've got resolution 2416, the appointment of a new county.
They're not here yet.
Oh.
Can we do my reporting?
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to have the court's authorization to pay claims as presented, including additional claims totaling $54,804.66.
So moved. So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to have the court's approval of the financial statement as of November 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank? Yes, ma'am. Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'd like to have the court's approval to make budget transfers totaling $341,053.88.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Crane?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have.
So we good?
Good.
Couple of points. We will have a celebration of Treasurer Kim Hughes and her retirement next Friday. But I'll beg the court to give me a moment to say thank you. I came in as judge executive at a trying time, and Kim, as well as all the staff, provided a significant amount of stability and structure moving forward for this community and county at a trying time. Since then, I have considered you a close friend and certainly a trustworthy confidant. And so for that, I appreciate you all your efforts.
Thank you.
Commissioners.
I just would like to say thank you for all you've done. I've known Kim for a long time. We went to high school together, and then she helped with band boosters when I was principal at the high school. So, provided a great service to this community, and I wish you nothing but the best in retirement. I know you're going to enjoy it, and I'm sure you're going to be around as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now,
Yes, sir.
I want to thank Kim for her friendship, her service over what together has been a long time we've spent serving county government. There's lots of people that are quick to say that we should have turnover of new blood and whatnot, but in skilled positions like treasurer, it's important to have continuity. I can tell you for the first time I walked into the county treasurer's office when I became county attorney, that office could have been something out of the 1800s. It was a smoke-filled upstairs room over there. There was, I promise you that Janine and Betty Manley had the books balanced to the penny, but it was old-fashioned ledger system and done with very little resources. And Kim, mentoring under Peggy Heflin, brought us into current times. And as y'all know, and you've supported her with investments in our future and upgrades to technology. Kim's kept us right on the cutting edge. And again, her having good assistance and help and long-term help. And it's just so important to have talent in positions like this. And Kim has had the talent, sometimes, lots of times toiling away, not early in the morning, but late in the evening, to make sure your work's done as crunch time comes. And it's things that the public don't see in that position that are so important. But to have integrity in our finances, everybody screams for transparency. She's provided transparency in that, and I'll say that nobody wanted to pass a occupational tax. But I couldn't have been prouder of Kim when she stood up in a leadership role and explained the dire situation. Had she not cried that we were in trouble at that time, I don't know what may have happened to county government. And she has been a great watchdog of our dollars, and I'm just proud to have get to serve with her, even though sometimes we don't agree and we fight a little bit. But I've enjoyed every bit of it in your friendship, Kim, and I thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Judge Constantine, I think you want to say a few words.
I had the distinct privilege of hiring this young lady. I was lucky enough to be here when we hired Peggy Heflin, which turned out to be one of the best state treasurers, and she was recognized all over the country. She's been in Kentucky for her leadership role. And I was lucky enough to be on the position that you're in now to interview Kim to sort of understudy Peggy, which she done wholeheartedly and learned the business of being the county treasurer, it's a difficult job is to make sure that all the dollars and the money, taxpayer, money is spent wisely. And she has done that, and she's got everybody informed during her entire career. I also was lucky enough to get on the board to hire a girl that I almost knew from birth. And I recognized her talent, that she would make a good county treasurer someday. So we have been lucky here in Mason County to have the continuity of treasurers from Peggy to Kim, and now passing the torch on down to the next generation. And I know that Ms. Davenport will be a great treasurer for the county, and I'm looking forward to seeing her from that. Thank you all.
So, without further ado, yeah, sure.
I didn't have the pleasure of going to school. I'm very blessed to be part of the family. I've saved all my children. When I came on board, April 14, 2015, we was one of many in this courtroom that took that little wing. Had several coffees over there in our office down there. Relax. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Especially when it comes to the budget. It's just the budget. Just get the budget. So I personally want to thank you and your staff and others in this courtroom for their action. Deeply appreciate it. These first few months, John, I'm overwhelmed. Very overwhelmed.
You did fine.
But thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is love and friendship. Truly admire and cherish.
Thank you.
Kim, I appreciate it too. You've been a big help for me. You've taught me a lot about the budget, and I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Me too. Thank you.
Judge, may I say something?
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, relax, Judge.
I don't even know what to say, but I am deeply appreciative and grateful for you. And I think, you know, obviously we have a good working relationship, but we have a very good friendship. And I just appreciate Kim for all the advice and the laugh and the tears, and just she's been a great friend to me, and a great treasurer. We are so lucky to have her, and you know, I go to meetings, and you know, I found out quickly that all the elected officials don't get along in counties. I didn't know that it happened, and so I was always so happy to come home and know that, you know, Kim was supportive in her role as treasurer and was always willing to help me. And her door is always open, no matter when I go over. You know, what do you need? What can I do? And I sincerely appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I'm going to miss you a lot.
You too. I really appreciate it. These years I have been here have been some of the most fulfilling in my life. I've raised my children in this office. When I came on, they were very young, and they used to come to work with me at night, and we would get our work done together. But I have been blessed to be under 3 judges that I admire and love dearly, starting with Buddy Gollenstein. He took me in, and it is just wonderful working under somebody with that much experience. And Joe, even though it was just a short time, I really learned a lot from Joe. And then now with Owen, everything is just so progressive, and I feel so good about the work that we have done together. And just want to see Mason County continue to thrive and move forward. I can't wait to see what y'all have next. Yep. Thank y'all.
You're not allowed to go very far at all. Not allowed to go very far at all. So, without further ado, that brings us up to Resolution 2416, the appointment of new county treasurer, which will take effect 25th day of January.
Your Honor, Resolution 2416 recognizes a vacancy created in the Office of County Treasurer for a term that would commence January 1, 2025 and continues until June 30th, 2027 at midnight. By statute, you're to appoint a treasurer for that period. This resolution also finds, and I certainly would recommend her with, that Megan Davenport not only meets the statutory requirements for this office, but is most qualified to serve in the capacity of county treasurer. I'm confident, absolutely confident of that. And so this resolution appoints Megan Davenport as county treasurer for that term until June 30th, 2027. You're also, in addition to finding her well qualified, you are finding that her surety on her bond with Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of America is financially sound and adequate surety, and they're an A+ rated company, which the bond will be issued through Schumacher Insurance Company with them as surety. So that's the resolution for consideration, Your Honor.
No, we have to approve.
You need a motion. This is court action. not-
Yeah, forgive me, I need a motion.
Make that motion.
We have a motion, and we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Absolutely. Would you like to? Okay. Like for the Davenports to come up, join us?
What's that name? Oh, Joe's name.
Okay. We'll make a note.
It's your best,
So you can get over here.
it's your best side anyway.
Raise your right hand. All officers, before they enter upon the execution of the duties of their respective officers, shall take the oath prescribed by Section 228 of the Kentucky Constitution. And Megan R. Davenport, having been duly appointed as treasurer by the Fiscal Court of Mason County, Kentucky, the county judge executive did administer the constitutional oath of office as follows. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as I continue a citizen thereof, and that I will faithfully execute, to the best of my ability, the office of Treasurer of Mason County, Kentucky, according to law. And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, I, being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have I sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offended. So help you God.
Yeah, get up there. You should get
Well done.
Thank you.
I was thinking like that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Cute kids.
And just to emphasize, Kim's term is through the commencement of January 1, the first week of January 1. Megan, this order resolution is effective on January 1.
Still got a few weeks.
Party time.
I'll be over.
Well done. Okay, so that, commissioners, that brings us up to resolution 2417. Applicant agent for fee. Do you have this, John?
They, in disaster services business, they send lots of forms in, they want lots of forms signed, and this is one of them. I don't think it's specific to a project, it's just an annual order, and this would name Megan as incoming treasurer, as the applicants, or I'm sorry, for fiscal court's agent for any FEMA applications or administration of FEMA funds. That's 2417.
So commissioners, I need a motion
Thanks, Sherry.
for resolution 2417 empowering new treasurer upon ascension of her term to be the applicant agent for our FEMA, given, God forbid, we have a disaster.
So moved.
We have a motion,
Second.
we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Commissioners, that brings us up to discussing the funding request for dispatch. In your packet, you will see Alliance Funding Group in the amount of $547,550. Over the last 4 years, dispatch with the city has gone through has attempted to go through a three-phase expansion. The first phase represented all of the updating of equipment there within the four walls of dispatch, and was completed. I don't believe we had a grant for that. Phase 2 and Phase 3 in the amount of $547,550. We applied for a Homeland Security grant to obtain the funds. We heard 2 months ago that we did not receive that grant. And so the Communications Committee met 2 weeks ago, of which Commissioner Frame represents the county and David Cardinal represents the city, to discuss moving forward on this continued update. The proposal without the grant was to fund the expansion of dispatch, which would be either over a 4-year period or a 5-year period, and you see the subsequent amounts within your packet. Sheriff and I have discussed this at length, and Peggy, feel free to jump in. However, we've had some issues with communications out in the county for probably the last 18 months or so. We think that our folks that our vendor, RCS Communications, we're hopeful that they have addressed that probably in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And then also had discussions initially of the county picking up 50% of each year's payment. I will remind the commissioners that our interlocal agreement with the city on dispatch is all of our CMRS money from the state is to be provided for equipment updates, things like that. I think 10 years ago, the state allocated that they could use a portion of them for salaries. And then in Joe's last year, we agreed to pay an additional $50,000 payment by the county. And so that is our current interlocal agreement.
I'll say something.
By all means, go ahead, please.
Okay, I made the motion to bring it out of committee into the court. And because we just kept going in circles that need to be discussed, other than the committee. So my opinion, this is too much money. I think we should get put it out for bid, because they've already done a $300,000. Now they're wanting another $547. That's close to $1 million. And in 7 years, you're looking at it again. So I say my thing is to put it out for bid
Now, the recommendation
and to see it, yeah.
from the committee was, instead of the county not paying anything, that we would consider 25% of the yearly payment.
Which is consistent with your call. Which is consistent with your percentage of calls.
Percentage of calls.
Sheriff, any thoughts on this?
Right now, we don't have any problems with the radio system. We did for quite a long time, several months. RCS had been coming back. They finally got it fixed, I think right before the committee meeting. So that's where we stand now. I'm not a radio expert. RCS is telling us we need to get this done now. Immediately. My thought is, I think it'd be wise to get a second from another contractor. And if they say, yeah, we need to do it, well then, I mean, we need to do it. There's no, I want to have good communications, obviously. I want to have a good relationship with the city of Maysville. And that's where I would say my recommendation would be, let's get a second opinion. If they say we need to do it, we do it. Maybe another vendor could do the job for less.
Yeah, and I'm looking at being physically responsible, and that you guys have what you need also. Yeah.
It does make sense because we seem to be uncertain about what exactly we need.
A couple of facts, and Judge, correct me, or Peggy, correct me, but a couple of facts just historically. And Sheriff, once the initial investment was made in a brand of equipment, you're going to be stuck with contractors or vendors who are dealing with that brand, or you'll throw everything out and start from scratch. And the other thing is that what created Sheriff Swolsky, maybe not his service in the agency, but his leadership. That when I think Judge Donaldson's involved in these conversations. You know, when they first went from analog to digital, they were told, and this goes to your comment, Peggy, that it's an additional money. But I mean, I think we've known all along that this stuff, it's like your computer, and you order a new computer and new software, about the time you plug it in, it becomes obsolete. So I mean, this is sort of the future is, you're always upgrading. I mean, I think we knew that more than. I'm not arguing that, I'm just.
No,
Yeah, I get that
I'm just
part,
throwing those facts out
yeah,
there.
I understand about the upgrades, it's just a lot of money.
I'm not arguing your
It's just
position.
been 2017 and.
Running
I'm not arguing your position, I just want to put the
No,
facts out there so y'all are aware.
So.
Is this company proprietary? I mean, is it,
Well,
is
they
that what
are.
you're saying?
So, in investigating this, John is correct. You have, what, three main providers of, you know, you have Kenwood providers, and then there's another company, Motorola. And then there's a third. Now, RCS is the largest, whatever our brand is, Kenwood provider, at least in the state. You know, but I do have concerns given the difficulties we have experienced out in the county over the last 18 months. Now, while it has been stabilized, and I mean, we all still agree it had been stabilized, it's only been that way for 3 or 4 weeks. I think the other thing that is important to remember when talking about $547,000 is, you know, I'm pretty confident we could apply again for this Homeland Security grant next year and take that time in between, you know, to double check, to maybe get a second opinion. But given the city runs dispatch, you know, we are in a kind of a subservient position to them and only offer our CMRS monies. So those are my thoughts.
Just city and county, how the interlocal works. The committee recommends, and then it goes to the legislative bodies. Does the committee have a recommendation?
The committee recommended that the county pick up 25% of either an annualized payment of $145,578 or a 5-year annualized payment of $119,783. So in addition to the $50,000 a year, it'd be an additional $25,000 on the 5-year, or approximately $30,000 on the 5-year.
Something else that rings with me too is the service at Dover. Didn't he say, Ryan, that it was not that good out there, and they could not guarantee us if they put in this new system that it would improve that, didn't they? Do you remember?
Yes, and I mean, to be fair, Dover's,
Right.
I don't know of anybody who gives good reception there. It's always been a problem.
Bottom of the ravine.
Yeah.
Right,
Topography
right,
issues.
right. Okay.
Joe?
Just wanted to put that out there.
I was on that committee several years ago, with this issue that Motorola at the time. And there was some issues even with Motorola in regards to updating equipment. Also, an issue with Motorola with trying to find certain areas in the community, 100% coverage, and they couldn't guarantee that. And by going to this phase, there would be some trust issues with that company, if I remember, in regards to that. And that's when we went this direction with this present company. So I have no issues looking into maybe looking into the possible range for next year. I don't know the timeline of the city, if this is a rush issue, but I don't mind that option, that one option. But the second option, I don't think it's unfair. I'm worried about the continuity of moving forward with this. I mean, it's starting this process of other companies and doing their homework, and like my sheriff said, there's only a few people that really have hands-on experience with these radios and how they operate. But it's currently, when it comes to finances, it's like you always said, it's always going to be up there. It's always going to be a cost factor with any company that doesn't just use. I have no issue with going with either way, but I think the proposal that came out of the committee at the 25%, I personally don't think that's unreasonable. In my opinion, but I mean, I'm good either way. I mean, but sitting on the committee, it was a nightmare. I feel for you, Stacey. I feel for you. It's
Well, I'm just concerned about, you know.
the money.
The money, I mean, and, you know, seems like every and they're saying 7 years, you gotta do this again. And I just have a problem
So,
with that.
but if we go, if another company looks at it, then maybe we just need to hear it from them. Are they gonna tell us the same, are they gonna tell us the same thing?
If they do, they do, yeah.
Well, and I will tell you, I called, another, Southern Communications is another provider, in the state, and just asked them about, we use RCS, and, spoke to leadership there with Southern, and they did comment that, Judge, look, understand, you've got bigger problems than just communications. If another provider comes in and says, hey, this $500,000 contract we can do for $250 or $300, because it should be on a state contract, a similar contract. It should be state approved pricing, and I think I can see that. His only comment was, outside of pricing disparities, you have to consider what kind of service that you're receiving, and kind of responsiveness. And we went through a good 10 months of trying to nail these dark spot issues down out in the county, and it was rather frustrating. Commissioner Frame, I think to your point, stuff like computers, stuff like communications equipment, et cetera, is always going to be expensive, man.
Oh,
Never
I
gonna
get
be-
that.
Never going to be cheap. But, there's, Sheriff and I have had discussions, there's never something wrong with, sometimes getting a second opinion.
And I should say this too, I feel like it is worth paying a premium to stay with Mason. I don't want to depart from that relationship. They do a good job, Chief Moore does a good job with that dispatch center. So I do think that is worth something. I mean, we really rely on them for a lot, and we need, we need them. So just
Are they on board with possibly getting 17?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
So what is the time frame we're talking?
Their argument was a public safety issue. You got to have dispatch, and I get that. But all, you're 2/3, or well, I guess a third down this road with one provider. You got to stay with the same provider. My argument is if we pay a little bit this year, we give up the right or the option to go after grant funding next year, And I would like to, I think I'd like to try for grant funding again. But our emergency management director, Tony Lease, will also attest these daggum repeaters will give you fits. I mean, I think our system and the repeaters we have on towers are end-of-life units. They're out of date or out of schedule, out of service. You know what I mean?
So if we do that and we look at, we try to get, we we take a little time to try to get another opinion, try to look into this grant. If we then run into issues, will we be able to, you know, if we have to come back and quickly resolve those issues, will we be able to do that with this company? You know, because if we run into issues where we're not getting coverage, that's critical.
Right.
That is something that would have to be fixed, you know, immediately. Would we be able to do that?
With these guys,
Yeah.
I don't know that they're, I mean, we looked, when one of the repeaters went down, I did like a nationwide search and could not find a compatible or similar repeater to what our system had. And that was 7-8 months ago when we were having the difficulties before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand, but if we were in that situation, I think we would be forced to have to go ahead and do
Right,
this.
I agree with that. I'm not saying not do this.
Sure.
I'm simply saying it's a lot.
Check it out.
Yes, yes, ma'am,
That's
that is a
what I'm
fact.
saying.
So to me, then it gets down to, I mean, what do you want to risk? You know, I understand it is a lot of money, but what do we want to risk? I mean, do we want to take that chance?
And Judge, just to say it, this is my opinion, you're gonna get a call meeting for the review of the interlocal agreements, what the next step is.
Oh, yeah. we are gonna go there.
So out of committee, the recommendation was to do the project, just to be clear, to do the project, and either fund it over 4 years or over 5 years. So the 4-year payment, by my math, so bear with me, would be $145,578.04, of which the city would pay $109,183.53, while the county would pay $36,394.51 a year. Okay? The other option is financing it over 5 years, where the 5-year payment total would be $119,783.94. The city would pay $89,837.96, while the county would pay $29,945.99 yearly. Now, the 5-year payment, both city manager and I agree, represents an additional $51,369.70 in just financing costs and interest. No, sorry, okay. Not additional. So if you do it 5 years, you pay $51,000 in financing costs. If you do it 4 years, you're only paying $34,762 in financing costs.
And this is also, we'll still be doing the 50,000 we pay them every year.
Correct. So this would be all our CMRS money, which is
Okay.
about $300,000.
230, 240 right now, in 2 years it'll be that high.
Plus our $50,000. Plus either 36,000 or 29,000, 30,000, 29,000.
So we're in 50,000 to the 36,000, that's up to $87,000, that's
Your,
not much.
your interlocal says 300,000? It estimates 300,000 or?
For
it has a number that says the city of Maysville expends about 300,000 on
Correct.
dispatch.
Yes, that's
And
it.
20% of that is, whatever it is, 20% of the number is $50,000. So that's how that number is derived. If you renegotiate it, I'm not saying you necessarily have to agree with that, but we think the city would say our expensive dispatch is $1 million plus, and your 20% is whatever, or we would have to come up with that number. But if you have an open interlocal agreement, maybe in my opinion, that number is going to change substantially if you continue this partnership, which I hope, and the sheriff hope, you would. I like the idea of tying this to financing because, it's like leasing a car. I mean, if people lease a car, you're always making a lease payment. But I like tying it to the financing because you're a 4-year period instead of forever. But most likely, 4 years from now, you're going to be in another project and you'll be paying another lease payment to somebody.
So,
Yeah, sure.
am I looking at this correctly? If we agree on the 4-year plan, that interlocal agreement continue for 4 years, will be,
No, this 4-year has
That would
nothing to
keep-
do with interlocal.
so is it possible?
Does that keep, and I'd have to have somebody else to, does that keep peace in the valley? I haven't been in the meeting. Okay, no. It may or may not. But it would be a compromise.
My concern is if we go one direction, I don't know how much money we would save by getting it out with the technology that regulates cost, considering the time frame the city is willing to move forward with this. This is kind of like getting time for the city is going to be this Thursday. I don't see this is Thursday, correct?
Yes, they have on Thursday.
I hate to break the contract, I hate to break the service.
Yeah, sure, I see what you're saying.
That's my main concern right now, is some people are concerned, they'll say, and I can't put a price on it, say, everything's for us. And I'm sure everybody was feel the same way. I prefer option, I'm kind of split in the middle, but I'm kind of concerned about that.
That's my concern too, Joe, is how it's gonna come out with the city.
I haven't heard anything about the margin of the situation. Kind of financing, we're okay with this, go this route before we come in.
Financing on, yes, that would be fine. I mean, we can do that. It's just whether or not we'll decide to do so.
I think there's a whole different conversation. Not so much drag against finance. Have we not had issues for the last year or so? I don't understand this stuff. Sheriff doesn't understand this stuff.
They had issues, in all due respect, they had issues, same issues several years ago with the company.
Yeah.
Computers, dead spots, moving antennas, leasing out, water tires, placing things.
Yeah, the problems we had with analog radio have persisted through
Yeah.
the digital era, right?
This isn't new because it's a different company. Yeah, it's like I'm good at your one. Concern is the same. Everybody involved. Not only for our law enforcement, but our citizens.
Right, I agree with that. It's the
Pastor
safety.
Lee, we had any comments on this? What's your
And I can just share, I don't know a whole lot about ratings, but working with Judge and Sheriff and Chief Palmer for the last several months on this, we do have 10 repeaters, 5 are analog, 5 are digital. You have to have separate repeaters. They are at the end of their life. We actually had several people looking for a spare. So if one of them went down, we just be able to swap it out and keep everything going. What we're doing right now, because we're not able to find any spares, if one goes down, we rob somebody, one of our other repeaters, to keep another going. And so, which usually will put somebody in the dark. I hate to say it that way, but that's what we've had to do.
Yeah.
We've had to take one of those repeaters that is in service, replace one of the others, just to try to keep the critical areas, or they're all critical, but just trying to keep communications going. And when you wind up leaving somebody in the dark.
My concern is go without opening it up. Now, what's the kind of thing on that? It's for looking 6 months, 7 months, because once you go ahead and get the bid, accept the bid, getting everything in place, it might take them 3 months to put all their gear in place. And it's something here that we have now is compatible with a possible different company that we're going to, or we're going to start from scratch.
This right now is $548,000. Coming back to it next year makes it easily $600,000. I probably man, just knowing the glide path of expenses for this stuff. But there's no doubt about it.
And the 25% is, Judge correct me, but the 25% is the county's proposal to them. It's not their demand of us. It's our proposal. Right?
Initially, the proposal was the county pays half of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the judge went back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's good.
I mean, this is our proposal, 25%.
Right.
And I'm not telling, it's strictly financial. But I'm telling you, this is gonna signal the end of, it may not end the dispatch program, but this is, you better be planning to sit here and renegotiate all of your interlocal agreements, because that's what just saying no will do. And I don't mind, we don't mind redoing it, but that's next.
My concern
You're probably looking at a year, I would say.
that concerns me. And if we're gonna have these issues for an entire year, that is my main concern. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna propose to go with, go ahead and go. I'm gonna propose to go with plan A. I'm gonna go with,
4 years.
Plan to update, so-called equipment.
Okay.
At 25%.
And really, your only say-so is whether you commit funds to this, because they make the decision.
Correct.
Right.
Whether you commit 25% of the plan A price.
Because they can say yea or nay to the 25%.
Correct.
I will, I kind of feel like it's what we have to do as well. I mean, I know there's concern that's been brought up about the cost and everything, but, and I guess this is our effort to also work with our city as well. So, and I know I talked with the judge, and I think at one time it was, like you said, 50% was the initial offer. This gets it a little bit more in line with the rate that the county uses those services. So I'm gonna second the motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank everybody that put on that, all this information. Just pay thank you for all your hard work.
It's just a lot of money, but I mean, I don't think it's a bad deal, don't get me wrong about the 25%. But, and I do worry about their reception they need, and I do worry about how the city's going to react. There's a lot of variables here, but I just, wanted to make sure we understood it all, that's all, which I know you guys do.
Commissioners, in your packet, you'll see Kim Southern table. We've got an entertainment permit. Miss Kim Smith of 4395 Kentucky Highway 10 in Germantown, Kentucky, or Kim's Southern table.
And Stephanie, I know we did the ordinance, but we actually have a hearing, is that right? Or Carrie? Okay, so this is a hearing. I have done extensive investigation as I'm required to for entertainment permits, and I hear great reviews of Kim's cooking and whatnot. Everybody likes it. I've never been there, but they have Rebecca, have you been there? Do you want to does it seem like a good place to have in our community and following all the laws? Okay.
They're fantastic.
I don't look at these much when they're it's triggered by ABC license, so she's regulated by ABC, so I don't see much reason we need to be doing independent investigations. So she meets ABC requirements. That's my recommendation to be issued. And I will try to go there.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Commissioners, I want to get down in our minutes for this meeting. Conversations I've had with Mr. Lloyd and our conservation district. Currently, they have office space. I can't remember where he told me their office is. Isn't it? Yeah. But in their 5 or 10-year plan that they do for conservation, you know, they always want to have a secondary location to utilize for office space, to have a homebound space. And so, you know, in trying to figure out how do we help them convey that, I have told Lloyd and the Conservation Board that, you know, as good partners, Mason County Fiscal Court, you know, will do everything possible to help them and support them. And that in case of an emergency or contingency, we're more than willing to serve for short-term office space for conservation. And so I'm looking to have this conversation in minutes to provide Mr. Lloyd for their strategic plan. Ultimately, my thoughts would be, if needed, 2-week to a month basis. You know, we have our old garbage office. We also have this office. I believe solid waste is transitioning to the old garbage office. This one is free. But then also, facilities director, Roy Crank, and I have ambitions of slowly fixing up the building that the county owns above the maintenance facility, the old Keiko, what I call the Keiko office, Keiko building. Now that Steve Clary's left us, we're gonna make it relative Taj Mahal. Fooled ya! There you go. Big screen TV, massage chairs, everything, buddy. But it's owned by the county. At some point, you know, it wouldn't be dissimilar to what we did with the Breezeway, IDA's office, the conference room, and garbage. And so, you know, I think over time, we'll have the ability to fix that up and have it as an option contingency for somebody. Anyone have a concern with that game plan?
I was going to be the first one in life in science, Jim.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you for
That brings us to old business. In your packet, you'll see ordinance 24-08, regulation of outdoor lighting, or second reading.
And there's George. I say George always appears.
Hey, George, how are you, buddy? Welcome forward.
This is second reading and for consideration and adoption. George talked about it at the last meeting on first reading of 2408. It is an ordinance amending the Mason County Land Use Ordinance to create a new section 340.412 to regulate outdoor lighting. This is in keeping with and consistent with, it is adopting the findings of fact, conclusion, law, and recommendations of the Mason County Joint Planning Commission at their hearing on this subject. So that's second read by the summary. It's been duly advertised, and 2408 is ready for consideration. And George is ready to answer your questions if you have any.
Does it apply, are there any existing lights that this applies to now that we know of?
Not out in the county, but there's some in the city, which prompted this.
we're not in the business of picking colors or anything, right?
Right.
Okay.
It would be anything, lights that are flashing, lights that have any sort of motion in them. If you have a string of lights and they each individually lit to make motion, then changing the intensity, like dimming and brightness, that sort of thing. It's the same standard for electronics. Sorry.
It's making me dizzy thinking about all that.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Got a motion, we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
No, ma'am. Also, I'd like to update the court on our phone system. Got our phones installed. We now have the ability to call in between any issues. Megan, you have any issues with the phone system?
No, everything seems to be good.
It is nobody's fault. We paid our own bill, but my child support office is on the system, and I said we paid our own bill, so it wasn't on the county bill. We don't have phones anymore. But
You're getting them. You're getting them.
Yeah.
We're getting them this week. Megan's jumped right on it and is working on it, and I think actually the staff over there is getting a lot done this week. A lot
I
of
bet
paperwork,
they
a lot of stuff's getting done. Well, it's sort of a luxury anyway.
They were shut off with our system.
The
If I don't
lines,
pay their bill, I totally forgot.
the lines went away, so the old system went away.
Yeah,
so,
there's nothing.
And we weren't on your bill, we paid a separate bill, but we were using your phone, so it's being taken care of.
Yeah.
Apologize for that. It's, like I said, it's very quiet over there.
They're happy.
Or they're getting forwarded to our office and somebody there's answering. So, but we're working through it.
Guys, I'll also update you all on the Bethel Monument for the Elijah Green. You know, we serve as a repository for folks that want to donate funds for that statue. It's a campaign, you know, run by Norbert and Buddy. That is up to $15,000. Talked to Norbert and Buddy. Last week they wanted to extend, I can't remember what the extension was for that, but April, I think it's gonna pick up, right, April? And so the court, the treasurer's office is just holding the donated monies, hoping we get to the target of $60,000 for their statue. Brings us up to board appointments, and are appointed to Western Mason Sanitation, Miss Janet Musson. We're appointed to the Extension District Board, Mr. Steve Clary and Matt Comer. Reappointed to Western Lewis Rectorville Water and Gas, Mr. Dwayne Rice. And then also had our friends in with conservation. Mr. Lloyd brought up Anthony Wins Jr., Yvonne Garrison, Brandon Moran, and first-time member, Brandon Moran. Oh, wait, I think I messed that up. But either way, they have, they're going forward.
I think she was.
And then lastly, you'll see in your packet, we have a request, our annual request from the Kentucky Gateway Museum Center from Dr. Robert Boone. With their annual donation of $5,000. So I'll entertain the motion.
Second.
Got a motion, we have a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hart?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge
Yes,
McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Brings us up to communications and, tell everybody, tell the court, and the county, Merry Christmas. Also, you know, we discussed earlier, December 20th, we're inviting the community to join us for Treasurer Kim Hughes' retirement, hosted up at the country club, what's it called,
Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge, yes, thank you. On this Friday, the 13th, we'll have our county employees fiscal court Christmas lunch. It'll start 11-ish. While at CAECO 4 weeks ago, we held the first Kentucky Ohio River Regional Recreational Authority meeting, which Mason County is one of 6 board members, inaugural board members. I was appointed as chair of the Kentucky Ohio Cora board, and we're targeting our first meeting early March back here in Mason County. Judge Moore up in Boone County, a couple others on that board. Looking forward to it. If you'll remember, that is the promotion of recreational and better utilizing the Ohio River. Also, on November 20th, we held one of our initial meetings with the library and the library's board and their architects for the Rosenwald Mason County Library Annex. Commissioners, to remind you, the county owns the Rosenwald School out in Maize Lake, and I think it would do the area well to have a library annex there in Maize Lake. And so, met with their new architects. EOP is the name of the architect firm, but they've done some libraries there in Fayette County Public Library, as well as currently working on the state capitol. They're the architects for the state capitol. Nice guys. They will also be helping with fundraising for the library. And then next Wednesday, December 18th at 5:30, we'll host an update meeting for Frontier Housing Hazelwood redevelopment.
Time's at 5:30.
5:30.
Where?
City Hall.
City. Any communications from commissioners?
Knights of Columbus is once again doing their Christmas dinners. They usually will cook, serve, people pick up or deliver close to 700 of them. Probably about the 45th year that we're doing this. Just want to get the word out to those in need. It would most likely will be advertised on TV, the WSTN channel, so we'll be looking for that. For phone numbers if you need to call, or they can just stop down. Anywhere from 10 o'clock till then. Knights of Columbus, which is located next to the public library.
What day is that, though?
December 25th.
Oh, on Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to, we would like to reach out and thank the ones that volunteer their time to cook and to serve and to deliver and give up their time with their family. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. Much needed.
And Orangeburg's having a
Yep, Saturday.
If you know of people.
dinner and auction.
Yes, ma'am.
An auction Saturday night.
Oh, we got balls and cakes.
If you know of names to give, pass on to Commissioner McKay or anybody that might come, if you know of names out in the community, and sometimes people are in need and not on the list, you don't know, call or keep up, so
Absolutely. Thank you.
but I apologize, Commissioner Frank.
That's all right.
Commissioner O'Hara, you holding everything down out there at the school system, my friend?
We're doing our best.
Good man, good man.
He's got a good left-hand man to help us out.
That he does, that he does. Any other communications? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, guys.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frank?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.